Hello, everyone. This is a public service announcement. Remember that looking at screens is bad for your eyes, so if you're not careful, your eyes will eventually cease to exist. If you wish to keep your vision, then follow this routine. After every 20 minutes of screen time, look away for 20 seconds, then spend 20 years in a forest. When foresting, you can optimize your time spent by doing continuous mewing and midsummer jelking. You might hear this and think, alright, but what in God's name am I gonna do in the meantime? Well, frankly, God can help you, but the great Odin has a quest. Welcome to Valheim. You are being deported from the beautiful realm of Valhalla to a disgusting hell called Valheim. You are flown here with first-class Ryanair, having a comfortable flight through the Irish weather with all the luggage you could afford to bring. My boy is looking a little uncomfortable, but to be honest, if I knew that my plane shaved its legs, I would probably feel uneasy too. You touch down in this shoddy mumbo-jumbo version of Stonehenge, and you come to learn that you must slay 6 forsaken creatures in order to bring back peace to some place where they are not, or whatever. The bird has now shrunk and tells you to kill one of the Forsaken, which is cool, thumbs up. But let's look at the surroundings first. If you stare at any point for longer than 5 seconds, you will notice that the graphics are quite shit. Like, look at this grass. It's super simple, literal blocks. But then the trees over there look beautiful, or no, they're also blocks. But then I zoom out completely and it looks amazing again. Unless I stare for too long, because then again it looks a little... What is going on? I mean, just look at how the sun and the direction it's shining in plays beautifully with your camera angles, and holy shit, I'm black as fuck. The way the developers played around with the shadings, lighting, smoothness of graphic blends, and well-coded controls creates this illusion of high-quality graphics. Truly some stunning work by the developers. Now, if you wish to learn more about this, best of luck, because I just made all of that up. Your fully customizable and nameable character is fucking tough. I went to try out the combat mechanics and holy shit, the magnitude behind that punch. I think my keyboard's shaking. These punches sequence from right to left and can be combined with your separate kick attack. This kick, along with other weapons that allow for a third attack, can be chained with your normal swings. Doing a kick after one punch doesn't flow well as your stance is off after the first punch, but throw the kick after 2 punches and you will find that it flows seamlessly. As a person who regularly kicks people on the streets, I greatly appreciate this detail. The Greylings are the first hostile mobs you will encounter. These little bitch-ass, ruckrat-ass, ass creatures are the perfect beings to practice combat with. Because you punch them and they're just like... The most damage they'll do is they'll just punch you when you're not paying attention, then they're like... and they run away. Fucking assholes. However, you are soon stopped by the mirrored reality of your own shortcomings, namely your stamina. Performing any actions with your character besides walking, building, and chilling will drain your stamina. Eating food will expand your stamina gauge and increase your health bar, allowing you to perform tasks for a longer time, sprint greater distances, and last longer in combat. Your skills upgrade over time by doing them repeatedly, making them more effective and costing you less stamina. Now, to get your adventure started, collect some food, mow down some small trees, craft basic tools, and set out to explore. Before long, you will need to find a safe place to spend your first night, because the creatures of the dark are not forgiving. Jesus! Jesus! The bird with the legs will tell you to make a bed somewhere, but I yearn for the grass. I mean, is this not all a man wants? Chilling by the creek at night, wandering with a torch, having a small fire going, becoming a torch, taking a leisurely swim? Pure bliss. To gain access to more crafting recipes, you must create a workbench with your hammer. When I got around to acquiring a workbench, this inanimate object had the audacity to tell me it needed a roof. So I proceeded to make one of the saddest attempts of all time. Out of shame, I destroyed my creation, dealing more damage to my tools than to my structure, and afterwards, I lit myself on fire again and decided to chill. And truthfully, I could not imagine a better start to my run. Not because it was good, I just have my limits. Random structures and landmarks decorate the entire world of Valheim. They create this common belief that these structures that were generated in this game could be seen as fun to encounter, but personally, I have beef with them. Because whenever you get too close to one of them, they change the music to something scary for no reason. Can you imagine the terror I felt when I stepped into a small little cottage in the beautiful, grassy, sunny meadows, and all of a sudden, the music changes to this? I thought I triggered a disaster. Anyway, across the map you will find runestones. These runestones tell the story of others that were sent on the same mission as you, leaving you to wonder whether you are the only one still roaming these grounds. Yeah, not reading that essay. Bye. They also provide additional information on certain areas or creatures, tips to boost your progress, gentle reminders to enjoy the beauty of your surroundings, and racist remarks against the local inhabitants. Now, to make yourself feel right at home, start by building a house. Your starting biome, the Meadows, is a biome that every Minecraft player searches high and low for to build their house in. The ideal location to build your house will be an open, grassy area, away from structures, and at a walkable distance from the forest. This is because 1. The monsters do not visit these places as frequently, and 2, it is my opinion. The building concept in this game is easy to understand and very fun. The application of technical mechanics to the building system is quite realistic, but not too strict. Your building options seem very basic and limited at first. However, with a little time and effort, you can create something absolutely gorgeous. But in my opinion, that is coping. We are heaven-sent primitives. We need food and shelter, not meals and a residence. What? Enough fucking around. We're here to slay the forsaken creatures and free Valheim or whatever, I don't know. With your basic tools acquired, food stock ready to go, and your base looking like it's there, you gotta practice some combat. Different weapons deal different types of damage, and depending on what your enemies are resistant or weak to, you should choose your weapon to fight them with. Here's a small breakdown. Oh, my bad. There are 3 physical damage types: pierce, slash, and blunt. Pierce damage is dealt by spears, arrows, light skin stares, and knives. Slash damage comes from swords, axes, also knives, and flesh rippers. Jesus Christ. For blunt damage, you can think of weapons like clubs, the staff of ambers, ooze bomb, and these fucking hands. There is also elemental damage, which is really cool, but I'll get back to that later. Common enemies in the Meadows are Greylings, Neck, and the Calcium people. The Greylings and the Neck are easy kills and are simply there to make sure you know how to left click. However, the Bonus brothers don't play that shit. To put up a proper fight against them in the early game, blocks are crucial. Blocking reduces the damage dealt by the enemy. The amount of damage that is absorbed depends on what tool you're blocking with and the timing of your block. A perfectly timed block not only absorbs most of the damage, but also parries your opponent's attack, which will temporarily stagger your opponent. Each opponent staggers for a different amount of time, so you better watch out. While your opponents are hitting the inverse griddy, your attacks deal additional damage depending on the weapon you use. For example, axes get a ×2 parry bonus. Bows get a ×1.5 parry bonus, and knives get a ×4 parry bonus. The way I understand the bonus differences is that it's easier to deal a lot of damage in a short time with a knife rather than with a bow or an axe, as axes are heavy and bows are clumsy, but a knife makes light work of someone in 2 seconds. Allegedly. I have no prior experience with this. Your first true test of strength is accidentally walking into a black forest and facing a troll. Let me ask you a quick question. Can you withstand the force of an 18-wheeler truck going 50 kilometers an hour with a flint-head spear? Me neither. Start dodging. The strength gap between the night shift workers and the trolls is something we cannot measure with modern measurements. Enemies like the trolls are usually not worth blocking. So make sure to dodge their attacks, get a few hits in, and then dodge again. But remember, just one small slip up and you are part of the soil food web forever. After crafting your weapons for battle and wearing the skin of your prey, it is time to face the first boss. The battle against Eikthyr is hyped up in your dreams. The cold sweats indicate your upcoming confrontation. Collect 2 deer heads, make the sacrifice at the altar, and holy shit, can I go back? Can I go back? Somebody give me a refund, please! Please! Anyway, good luck with that. Defeating a forsaken creature leaves you with a piece of them, usually their head, which you then have to hang up on their respective runestone, granting you a special power. Your first forsaken power, the Eikthyr Locked-in Supercharged Supreme, reduces the usage of your running and jumping stamina by 60%. We now enter the Black Forest, and with that, the Bronze Age, the tipping point. This is where you go discover new grounds, species, items, and turn your makeshift backyard weapons into some serious third-rate alloys. The Bronze Age isn't merely defined as a lengthy and remarkable checkpoint in the progress of humanity in a forsaken world. It also defines a serious portion of your actual life, because it takes so goddamn long. You could start, raise, and leave behind an entire family by the time you're actually at the next phase of the game. However, my best quality lies within taking a shitty situation and making it even worse. To get to the Black Forest, I made this long-ass sail over the oceans to get to a new island. I figured I would set up a small camp around my bed in Porto so I could easily transport the goods back and forth. However, I did not know that unlike in real life, you cannot take metals through portals, and sleeping somewhere else changes your respawn location. Fuck. My only logical option? Rebuild my entire base. So I had to move all my stuff back and forth from the meadows to the Black Forest on a different island. But your carrying capacity is severely limited, and going above the limit slows you down until it stops you in your tracks. However, I did not just build my base anywhere. You see, as I washed ashore, I noticed this little nutsack on my minimap. With my countless hours of full-time gamer experience, there is no way I wasn't going to check it out. Still dripping from head to toe and also a little wet from my journey, I headed straight for the balls and arrived at all I could ever dream of and more. Among other shit, the trader sells an item that lets you carry more. A beautiful belt called the Megan. It's called Megan. It will cost you an arm and a leg, a price one should be willing to pay because little manlet here is the entire market. But you have no shekels. So how do I make money? Obvious question, obvious answer. What is the cornerstone of every stable economy in the modern world? That's right, theft. It is time for some old-fashioned grave digging. Unethical. Who cares? I don't. So I raided every single dungeon on the island, looted every troll cave, and ate glucose until my piss attracted bees, only to figure out that the Black Forest biome was literally right next to my base, after I had literally moved everything. And so I spent hours upon hours of my real life on something with no tangible benefits. Some might call this natural selection. I call it character development. Also, these portals I mentioned like a while back are great. You link them by name and they let you teleport anywhere. This is great for keeping your home base in one location while having quick routes to numerous biomes. Anyway, in the Black Forest, you're also introduced to more members of the Greyling family tree, being the Grey Dwarf, a stronger variant of a Greyling, bigger in size and capable of throwing rocks. Damn. The Grey Dwarf Shaman, capable of throwing poison attacks at you as well as healing himself and other Grey Dwarfs. And the Grey Dwarf Brute, a big and strong Grey Dwarf with a sturdy weapon. Hits like a truck. Parallel to all of these enemies, they can spawn in different versions, with stars underneath their health bar indicating their strength/rarity. This also gives them a slightly different appearance. A cool touch, if you ask me. And the amount of stars, of course, is a reflection of how much looks maxing they have done over the course of their life. As I mentioned, the Black Forest is home to dungeons and troll caves, both holding a lot of valuable items and strong enemies. In these dungeons, you will face many skeletons and sometimes a little ghost. At first, the skellies wouldn't let me pass that easily, but their health doesn't regenerate and I have infinite respawns. Pro tip. Don't give me a pro tip. Use their wide swings to your advantage. Lure them out of their spawning rooms into the narrow hallways and kill them easily with a spear. Just make sure to watch out for the archers. They're a pain in the ass. Every dungeon you clear feels like such a victory, especially in the beginning. Of course, you'll get used to the enemy's attacks, the type of loot, and the things you will encounter in general, but you will never lose the excitement of 4v1ing your enemies in narrow hallways. It's just chef's kiss. Now that we have got our belt, it is time to get that free copper without going through the trouble of breaking into construction sites past 4 PM. I mean, let's keep it 1,000. Would you rather evade CCTV or whole entire trees swung at you with a force beyond human comprehension? I have my answer. After you've acquired that full bronze strip, after approximately 3 years of your full, actual human life, you can make an attempt to beat the Elder, gather the required items, make the sacrifice, and regret your decision. Or if you're an absolute mega dumbass like me, try to beat the Elder with the same gear you defeated the Thunder Deer with. But I can promise you one thing, both options are equally unlucrative against this absolute monster of an enemy. Though eventually, I did manage to beat the Elder all by myself. Now you might wonder, what is my genius strategy? The game glitched and made the Elder unable to move, for reasons I cannot comprehend but will gladly accept. However, with but a quarter of his health bar left, he did almost make me lose my family's generational etching streak by suddenly regaining his senses. But fortunately, his efforts were in vain, and I left the altar with a disgusting goon. Hanging the Elder trophy will grant you the power of faster woodcutting and a snarky comment. This is where the game gets serious. The clean-legged bird stops guiding you along every step, showing up only when it feels like it, honestly. So now you're more on your own than you've ever been. By now, you might already have like a decent farm going, consisting of various foods and animals. Me? I just keep some boars, name them funny names, and try not to kill them. Shit! I also didn't farm any food. I live off the hunt and the forest. If I failed to find my own food in nature, I wasn't meant to live anyway. By now, the game will show you this really cool feature that perfectly complements your understanding of the game and everything you have built and acquired for yourself up until this point. This feature involves sending 2 giant trolls to your base. These trolls then politely knock on your fence until it opens, before they destroy everything you worked for, you included, and kill your livestock. I personally enjoyed this event so much that in order to savor the memory, I turned it off forever. After rebuilding your base for the first and last time, it is time to head for the swamps. Swamps are rarely found on your first island, so it is time to build a boat. An actual boat, not this Jomentaria and... I had to conquer my deep waterophobia to really start enjoying the beauty of my maritime travels. Holy yo! What the fuck? Oh. Ooh, I fucking hated that. So if you're like me, don't worry. After coming back to your senses, your journey looks more gorgeous than it ever has. The sun reflecting on the troubled water, the breeze brushing your hair before guiding your sail, that blissful feeling of tranquility when cutting the waters with your beautiful little... No. Finally, land. Like finally! Your next stop is the swamp biome. Oh, yeah. Yes! Yeah! A place infested with poisonous creatures, undead dwarves, spirits, and literal abominations. This place truly just sucks to be in. Literally everything here tries to either bother or kill you. On just about every sizable island around your starting island, you will encounter a swamp or two. The swamp surface is equal parts water and mushy muck. Probably a good drink, according to the greatest of Britons. The enemies are blobs, bigger blobs, shit-drenched battle dwarves, the vengeful spirits of vengeful people, and of course, Bonathans. And oh, horrors beyond my comprehension. Of course. At least these little guys look chill, or maybe calm is the word. They're kind of on fire. The waters are infested with leeches, the rain is ever falling, and the tall trees let no glimpse of sunshine through. However, these trees do drop a dope new kind of wood that can be used for some dope crafts. Most of the loot that drops here is either goo, intestines, shit, diarrhea. It's disgusting. I got me, ooh, some ooze. Rotten and putrid smelling. Why do you want this? I don't. The main event of the swamps are the sunken crypts. In ancient times, they were filled with a thriving society and great riches, now home to the undead.
Excuse me, what the actual fuck are you doing in my house?
And soon, not even filled with riches, because I am stealing it all. In the sunken crypts is where you find iron, your next core item after the Bronze Age. Oh! Oh! You can find iron in a chest room that is heavily guarded, or in the literal shit that's on the walls. Chest rooms are not common, and they don't always contain iron, so most of your time will be spent digging dookie in Scatlantis. Pro tip from me.
Give me a pro tip.
A handy strategy that I carefully developed to speed up this process is to set the resource rate to high. Fuck you, I got more things to do. Your iron tools are stronger than your bronze ones, of course, and you even get some recipes for all new weapons, like this bow and a battle axe. My personal favorite weapon is the Atgir, a two-handed polearm with serious range and a sick-ass spin attack. The bow coming in second because of these aggressively erotic headshots. Oh, that feels so good. Anyway, beautifully decorated with green torches and the luminescent eyes of your enemy. The sunken crypts are full of strong enemies. These narrow halls make it very tough to evade the blob's poison while fighting your drunk neighbors, because they look small and chunky, but these dudes sprint through the mud like it isn't there. Also, make yourself some potions of poison resistance. They are quite crucial in this biome, as the poison kills you faster than you think. You can brew these tasty little shits in your cauldron along with other foods and potions that boost your health and or stamina. The swamp altar, sick ass design by the way, look at that, tells you to cook their remains. But the theirs in question definitely don't want you to do that, which I understand, but one small issue. So I made the sacrifice anyway, and yet again I was confronted with the fact that I cannot just take on bosses with under-leveled equipment and a false belief of ability. Therefore, my first battle with the mass was very short. After learning that Massachusetts is weak to frost damage, I brewed me some frost potions and scaled the mountain like a GTA 5 character, trying to post-mortem get his motorcycle back from his crash on Mount Chiliad. I was in deep search of these magical ice crystals to maybe, hopefully, allow me to grow closer to the freaky astrology girls. But truth be told, all they are good for is enchanting my weapons. Heartbreaking. Going back to Massimilian, I was geared the fuck out and beating the piss out of him. And in the midst of my battle, suddenly, your boy was in a predicament, caught in a vicious trap called world generation. Not once, not twice, and absolutely not by myself. After defeating the late King Philip, you acquire his magical wishbone. This wishbone helps you find rare items, like your house keys, phone, and wallet. After a night of doing serious crack with the up and downstairs neighbors of your plywood bungalow, or to find hidden treasure, the choice is yours. Having now defeated half of the bosses, you may feel like you're halfway there, but my god, you're wrong. You still have so many fascinating biomes, items, creatures, and technology to discover, so your adventure is anything but over. But this video is. To conclude this video, I would like to list my favorite things about Valheim. Valheim has a download size so small that, with a little effort, you could run this game on your appendix. The option to quit the game right from the initial escape menu. No endlessly leaving game after queue, after lobby, after home screen. Nope. I am delighted to know that I am always 2 clicks away from the 30 Family Guy videos I have running in my background. The birds no clip through the terrain. Check it out. And petting Holstein brings me joy I cannot put into words. So I won't. Alright, that's it. Sorry for the long wait. It's been real busy. Next one is going to be shorter and coming out sooner. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all of you and have a good one. Oh, and of course, overall, if you feel like it and you haven't played Valheim yet, I would definitely recommend it. It is honestly an amazing game, and I have not had this much fun playing a game in actual years. So definitely give it a try. Thank you. One of my friends just walked into my room.